It was supposed to be a quick drive through the woods, nothing more than a shortcut to save time. The sky was just beginning to darken, the last bit of sunlight slipping behind the trees. Josh and Maya, a young couple heading home from a weekend getaway, laughed as music played low in the background. But their laughter slowly faded when the GPS glitched, freezing on a screen that simply read, "Recalculating." They took a turn they didn't recognize, thinking it would lead back to the main road. It didn't. The trees grew thicker, the road rougher, and every mile forward seemed to pull them deeper into something that didn't feel right. The signal vanished, and a strange silence settled in, like the forest itself was watching. That's when they passed an old, rusted road, sign bent, barely readable. It read, "Wrong turn." They should have stopped then. But they didn't. In this animated horror story, you'll follow Josh and Maya as their quiet evening drive spirals into a night of creeping terror. Mysterious shadows, eerie noises, and the sudden realization that they're not alone. What started as an innocent shortcut soon becomes a fight for survival. This is not just another road lost in the woods. It's a place where time feels frozen, and the line between reality and nightmare begins to blur. Stay with us as we uncover what lies beyond that wrong turn and why some paths should never be taken, no matter how lost you are. Josh tightened his grip on the steering wheel, eyes flicking between the narrowing path ahead and the side mirrors. Trees loomed closer now, branches clawing at the car like fingers reaching from the dark. Maya shifted uncomfortably in her seat, her earlier excitement replaced with quiet unease. "This doesn't look like a road anymore," she murmured, glancing out the window. The dirt trail had turned uneven, lined with old tire marks that looked more like scars than tracks. Still, they pressed on, hoping to find a turnoff, a light, anything familiar. But everything started to feel the same twisted trees, the same silence, too heavy to be natural. Josh tried the radio, then the GPS again. Nothing. Dead. Even their phones showed no signal, like they'd slipped into a place technology couldn't follow. That's when Maya noticed it. A faded blue scarf hanging from a tree branch, fluttering gently despite the still air. "Someone's been here," she whispered, her voice barely audible. Josh slowed down, eyes narrowing on the scarf. It looked fresh, too fresh. He stopped the car. For a moment they just sat there, the engine ticking softly as the forest seemed to press in around them. No wind, no birds, just stillness. Josh stepped out to get a better look, and that's when they both heard a faint crunch in the distance, like someone walking slowly over dry leaves. Maya's eyes widened. "Josh, get back in the car." But it was already too late. Josh stood frozen, staring into the trees, trying to find the source of the sound. It wasn't loud, but it had weight, slow, steady footsteps crunching through the leaves, then pausing, as if whoever or whatever it was knew they were being watched. Maya rolled down the window just a little and whispered sharply, "Josh, please, just get in." But he didn't move. His eyes were locked on something in the shadows. Then, without warning, a figure darted between the trees. Not close, but visible enough to know it was human. Or looked human. It moved strangely, hunched, almost limping. Josh quickly backed toward the car, climbed in, and locked the doors. Both sat in silence, breathing fast, eyes wide. "Did you see that?" Maya asked, voice shaking. Josh nodded slowly. "We need to turn around." But when he reversed, the tires spun up. The ground beneath had gone soft, almost like it had been soaked with something. Mud clung to the wheels, holding them down. He tried again. Nothing. And just then, another sound, metal, clinking, faint but deliberate, like chains dragging. The couple exchanged glances, fear fully setting in. Maya's hands trembled as she reached into the glove box for the flashlight. "We didn't pass any houses. How is someone out here?" she whispered. Josh didn't answer. He was thinking about the scarf, the footsteps, the way the road seemed to disappear behind them. What if this place wasn't just isolated? What if it was designed to trap them? And if so, why? Josh stepped out again, flashlight in hand, the beam shaking as he scanned the trees. The light barely cut through the thick air, revealing nothing but tangled branches and heavy fog creeping along the ground. Maya stayed in the car, eyes darting between the mirrors and the path ahead. Every second felt longer, stretched thin by fear and silence. Then came the sound again, closer this time. The same dragging metal, slow and heavy, now mixed with a faint rustling, like something moving low to the ground. Josh moved around to the back of the car, trying to clear the mud from the tires with a branch. As he crouched down, he noticed footprints, deep, uneven, circling the vehicle. Not theirs. Someone had been walking around the car. His heart pounded. He stood up fast, scanning the area. Nothing moved, but it didn't feel empty. Inside. Maya's breath caught when she saw a flicker of movement behind the car. A shape tall and narrow, just standing there at the edge of the trees. She screamed Josh's name, and he turned, swinging the flashlight. The beam landed on the figure for half a second before it vanished into the dark. Josh ran back to the car, slammed the door shut, locking it again. "There's someone out there," Maya said, tears in her voice. Josh didn't answer. He was staring at the rearview mirror. Behind them, through the mist, more figures were emerging. Not one, not two. A line of silent shapes, slowly moving closer, surrounded, trapped, and no clear way out. Josh didn't speak. His hands trembled on the steering wheel as the shapes in the mist crept closer, still silent, still watching. Maya reached for his arm, whispering, "Start the car. Try again." He turned the key, and this time, the engine coughed and roared to life. Relief washed over them for a split second, but as Josh slammed the gear into reverse, the headlights flickered and went out. Complete darkness swallowed them. The engine still hummed, but the road ahead was invisible. Josh flicked the headlights again, nothing. Then, through the windshield, the figures were gone. Just vanished. Maya leaned forward, peering through the glass, her voice shaky. "Where did they?" A loud thud hit the roof of the car. Josh and Maya both screamed, ducking instinctively. Another thud, then something dragged across the metal above them, scraping slowly, deliberately. Josh threw the car into drive and hit the gas, but the wheels spun in place again. Useless. Something was holding the vehicle back. Maya glanced at her right and gasped. A man stood just inches from her window. Pale face, sunken eyes, and blood smeared across his cheek, not fresh, but old, like dried rust. He didn't move, didn't blink, just stared. Then came the twist. Josh's phone buzzed. A signal, one bar, a single notification. It was a message. From his brother, ***, "Why are you back there? That place was shut down after the accident. No one's supposed to go near it. They never found the bodies. ***, Josh read it aloud, voice cracking. And then, the screaming started. Not theirs outside. All around them. Josh stared at the message on his phone, hands trembling. Maya was frozen, still locked in a stare with the man outside her window. Only now, he was gone, just like that. Vanished. The screaming outside rose and fell like a wave, echoing through the trees, coming from every direction. It wasn't just one voice. Dozens, maybe more. Josh gritted his teeth and floored the gas again. This time, the tires gripped just enough. The car jolted forward, swerving wildly through the narrow path. Branches smacked the windows, and shadows darted between the trees as if trying to keep up. The road twisted violently, but Josh didn't stop. He just drove. Maya clutched the phone, refreshing the map app over and over, until suddenly, a road appeared. A real one. Just ahead, between the trees, the glow of a streetlight. "There," she shouted. Josh swerved hard, nearly clipping a tree, but the car burst through the last line of forest and skidded onto asphalt. They didn't speak, just breathed. Streetlights flickered overhead. A gas station sat up ahead, lights buzzing, empty. Josh pulled in, parked, and finally exhaled. For a moment, it felt over. But then Maya noticed something. On the dashboard, the scarf, the same blue scarf from the tree, folded neatly sitting in front of them. She hadn't brought it, neither had Josh. He slowly turned to her. "Did you put that there?" She shook her head, eyes wide. Behind them, the fuel pump clicked on by itself, and in the rearview mirror, the man was standing there again, smiling. Josh spun around in his seat, but the man was gone again. Only the empty gas station lot remained, silent under the buzzing lights. The scarf still sat on the dashboard, untouched. He reached out slowly, grabbed it, and tossed it out the window like it burned his skin. Maya didn't speak. She kept staring at the pump, then at the rearview mirror, then back at Josh. "We need to leave now." They didn't fill up, didn't ask questions. Miss drove until the trees were far behind and the night faded into morning. The road was quiet, peaceful, but the tension didn't lift, not entirely. Something had followed them out of those woods, not in form, but in feeling. Like a shadow that never fully disappeared. Days later, back home, Josh called his brother. He explained everything, every strange sound, the figures in the trees, the message, the man. There was a pause on the line. Then his brother said, "That road? It was closed after the search teams failed to find survivors from a bus crash. Years ago, people claimed the woods were cursed. Locals said they